2. The scene was surreal, and I don't use the term lightly. From what I could see, a late-model red Jeep had lost control in the outside northbound lane and then careered across 5 lanes before hitting the walkway barrier and slamming into the railing, which was bulging to accommodate the Jeep's front end. All but one lane had been closed, and a narrow ribbon of traffic was open to alternating northbound and southbound traffic that crawled past the Jeep, which was swallowed by fog up to its taillights. Law enforcement vehicles were haphazardly parked on the roadway. Bridge Authority SUVs, fire department, CHP vehicles, black and whites, and personnel to match were all clumped up around the Jeep. I saw people I knew from the ME's office shooting pictures of the accident. A traffic cop heaved over the railing. At the same time, a tow truck was pulling into position to remove the Jeep in prep for reopening the road, the only thoroughfare between San Francisco and Sausalito. A Bridge Authority uni checked out our badges and called out, "Dr. Washburn, you got company." Claire came out from behind her van, shaking her head, and said, "Hey, you guys, welcome to Some Kind of Crazy. Let me give you the tour." She looked worried, and as we closed in on the Jeep, I saw why. The windshield had exploded outward, the front end was crushed accordion style, and as I peered into the passenger compartment, my scalp actually crawled. I've seen a lot of gruesome scenes in my 14 years in homicide, and this one vaulted to the top of the most gruesome list. I mean, number 1. 2 adults, white male in the driver's seat, white female in the passenger seat, both looked to be in their late teens or early 20s. Their arms were akimbo and their heads thrown back, mouths open in silent screams. But what drew my attention directly were the victims' midsections, which were gaping, bloody holes. And I could see where the blood and guts had gone. The driver's side was plastered with bits of human debris mixed with fragments of clothing and other detritus I couldn't identify. One airbag was draped over the steering wheel. The other covered the passenger from the thighs down. Claire said, "We've got blood and particles of human tissue stuck all over everywhere. We've got damage to the seat belts and the dashboard and the instrument panel, and that's a button projectile stuck in the visor. Also, we've got a dusting of particulate from the airbags sugaring everything. These areas right here," she said, pointing to the blown-out abdomens of the deceased, "this is what I'm calling explosive points of origin." "Ah, Christ," Rich said. "They had bombs on their laps? What a desperate way to kill yourself." "I'm not ready to call manner of death, but I'm getting a handle on cause. Look at this," Claire said. She got an arm around the passenger and leaned the young woman's body forward. I saw spinal tissue, bone, and blood against the back of the seat. My morning coffee was now threatening to climb out of my throat, and the air around me seemed to get very bright. I turned away, took a couple of deep breaths, and when I turned back, I had the presence of mind to say, "So this bomb, or should I say bombs, plural, blew all the way through the bodies?" Claire said, "Correct, Lindsay. That's why my premature but still educated opinion is that we're looking at a bomb that exploded from inside the abdomen. Abdomens, plural. I'm thinking belly bombs." 3. The lunch hour rush had escalated from peeved to highly outraged. Traffic cops were taking crap from irate drivers, and TV choppers buzzed overhead like houseflies circling a warm apple pie. The tow truck operator called out in my direction, "Hey, can someone extract the victims? We gotta open the bridge." Here's what I knew for sure. I was the ranking homicide cop on the scene, the primary investigator until the case was permanently assigned. Right now, my job was to protect the scene from contamination, and no joke, the scene was a 6-lane highway. I marched over to the tow truck driver and told him, "Thanks, but the wreck is staying here, and please extract your truck from my bridge." As the tow truck moved out, I addressed my fellow law enforcement officers, saying, "Whatever this is, it's not an accident. I'm locking the bridge down." "Bravo," Claire said. "We agree." I dismissed non-essential personnel and phoned Charlie Clapper, head of CSU. I told him to drop whatever he might be doing and hustle over. "Jam on the gas and jack up the sirens," I said. I reported into Brady, told him what I knew. He said he would get hold of the chief and the mayor and would be on scene ASAP.